Hey, what is going on, road trippers? Road Trip Nate here. Once again, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, as those all-important captions at the top stated, I'm doing my ranking of my top 5 favorite travels I've been to, I've been on, that I've gotten on video. Now, one of these days I will do an extensive, complete ranking list of the numerous channels, the numerous travels I've been on. And spoiler alert, these will be the top 5 out of those. And one of these days, my co-host on numerous trips I've been on, Tim Crawford, he will be over one of these days to help do a live stream on the ranking list of 11 to 1 of the trips that we've done on video together, plus an honorable mention. But tonight, just to get a ranking video out into the universe, I thought I would do the top 5 travels that I've gotten on video. I know years ago I did my top 5 travels I've been on, which most of those I didn't get on video because I wasn't doing videos at the time. But I might do an updated list on those. This might become the new series that I'm doing. But tonight's going to be the top 5 trips that I've done that I've gotten on video. Currently rewatching videos from my Colorado trip, just because I'm bored and that was the only thing I felt like watching. But anyway, let's get in there. Talk about with the list, the all-important list. Coming in at number 5, the Dallas trip that me and my buddy, my co-host on a lot of these videos, we're about 40% of my, I'd say about 50% of my travels. Tim Crawford, this was our first trip we took together, that we got on video together. We went through southwestern Arkansas, got a Trucker Gone Wild just north of Texarkana. Went through, in Texarkana we were filling up for gas, and this couple was fighting at the gas station. Went through Shreveport, Louisiana, and I think my camera might have been dead or almost out of memory, so I switched over to my my GoPro, my first GoPro I had, and I got Shreveport, Louisiana upside down. But hold that thought for just 1 second. Nature calls. should probably start using the restroom before I start doing live streams. But anyway, Shreveport. We went through downtown Shreveport and got, was it the Liberty Bowl? It was some bowl game that is played in Shreveport. That we went by. Then we stopped in Tyler, Texas at a Crapplebee's, had dinner, and then we got into Dallas. It was a quick overnight, but we went there because I had a season pass. I had a season pass for Six Flags Over Texas, and it was Bring a Friend free weekend. So I invited my buddy Tim to go. We had never been out of town on a trip together before, and we both like making videos, traveling. So we both went to Dallas. And we got into Dallas, and we get on the freeway, and I'm screaming at these people because they're going slow. If y'all have seen my videos, you know I have a little bit of road rage, just a tiny bit. And I'm like, move it, moron. Got it on video. Then the next morning, we get to the hotel, and this is Motel 6 in Arlington. First and only time I've seen my buddy Tim have any kind of alcohol. He had one drink. Me, I'm having a few drinks, like I typically do. Stepping outside for, a few minutes at a time to smoke a cigarette. And we're watching, I think Live PD is what we were watching. The next morning, we're going around by Cowboys Stadium. He's wanting to try to look for a Walmart. I'm like, there's a Walmart next door to Cowboys Stadium. He's like, no, there's not. Because on one side of Cowboys Stadium, like he was saying, it doesn't look very inviting. But on the other side, because Cowboys Stadium is such a big freaking stadium, you have the entertainment district. And so we went by Texas Live, and we got to this Walmart. I love this Walmart because it's very Texas themed. I've never seen a Walmart that looks more state themed than this Walmart does. And it's right next door to Cowboys Stadium. But then we went to Six Flags. I'm surprised my buddy Tim didn't tear up the rental car, but there was no scratches on this rental car while we were going through the little terminal there to check in. Almost hopped up over the curb, but we got parked. No damage done, no nothing, no scratches, no nothing. We rode Titan. And then we waited in line for like 45 minutes to ride. We thought we were going to ride Texas Giant, but that didn't end up happening. Went through had like 6 videos going through Dallas, some from 50 seconds to like 10 minutes because I kept hitting something on my camera. I was still new at trying to do videos at the time, travel videos, but we went through Norman, got University of Oklahoma on video, went past Oklahoma City, got it from the freeway, got a video of Asylum at night. Tim was trying to go home, and I'm like, hey, you still gotta take me home. But that's why it's number 5. This one's taken like 11 minutes so far. But that's number 5. Number 4, mine and Tim's 3rd trip we've taken so far. Nashville, Tennessee. This is the first time I've ever gotten Knoll on video, which I like. I like Knoll. Knoll is a very good town. It's a very unique town with a river that runs through that a lot of people love going canoeing and kayaking on over summer break. And it's got Shadow Lake Surf Club, which is an outdoor bar. A campground me and my buddy Kenny have stayed at numerous times. But it was cool to get the bluffs on video and go through there. One of the numerous times I've been through Kansas City, I've gotten Kansas City north, south, east, and west at different times. But this time I got Kansas City coming up from the south. Then we went to St. Joseph, which is where Jesse James' hometown is, his boyhood home, and the museum for the Pony Express. I don't know if that's where the Pony Express started, or they have a museum there. Then there was a lot of flooding in central Missouri whenever we went up through. Wait, no. Oh, this is a different trip. We went up through, I don't know where we went through to get to Nashville. We ended up getting into La Center. We went through Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and Cape Girardeau, Missouri. The trip I was talking about earlier was Chicago. But then we stopped in La Center. It was a decent town, La Center. We stayed at, I think, the Starlight Inn. And I didn't get any videos of Paducah, Poplar Bluff, Cape Girardeau, which I should have. I didn't get any. I think I only got like 2 videos in Nashville and 1 video in Memphis on the whole trip. But we stayed in the center. The NFL draft was going on, and we ate the next morning at Taco John's in Paducah. La Center, we stayed at this little roadside hotel, a little 1-story hotel that at 9 a.m. we're getting ready to start checking out. This hotel worker knocks on the door saying if we're already checked out at 9 a.m. It's like, no, we've got till 11 a.m. to check out. We haven't checked out yet. The whole time trying to find a hotel the night before, we were like, are we going to have to stay in Nashville before we find a hotel? But we watched a little bit of the NFL draft that night before. And then we got into Nashville after eating at, I think, Taco John's in Paducah, which was decent. Stopped by the Unga Bunga, a music store, I think. But then we got into Nashville. We stopped at a Motel 6 in Nashville. We were gonna go down to the NFL draft. But Tim was like, I'm super tired. I don't feel like going anywhere. And me, I was gonna go down there by myself, but I'm like, it's gonna take a couple hours before I can get an Uber to come back to the hotel. I don't feel like waiting. So I ended up going to the bar next door, having a beer, and I'm in my Cowboys gear. And this Packers fan comes up to me. I'm gonna go hang out with the Cowboys fan. I'm like, don't you say no, please. Really, I just want to hang out at this bar. But it was pretty cool. So I went back to the room and asked Tim if he wanted to play pool for a little bit. He's like, there's no smoking in there, right? Because apparently he's allergic to smoke, cigarette smoke, or any kind of smoke. I'm like, no, they don't allow smoking in there. Let's go to this bar and play pool. Okay. I think it's only one of a handful of games of pool I've ever won was the first game, because Tim knocked the 8-ball in. We played another game. Tim won because I knocked the 8-ball in. I had a pitcher of beer on me. So, but that was a decent time. We had this homeless lady that was wanting to know where downtown is, and Tim's like, well, just keep going until you see all the skyscrapers. That's where downtown is. And we continued to watch the draft on the TV because we both ended up not wanting to go, even though we were so hyped up to go to the draft. We watched it from the hotel, but we were in Nashville where it was happening. And then we came back through Memphis. I just got a video of driving past Memphis on the interstate. Number 3, my Louisiana trip back in 2019. These first 3 trips, all 4 of these, 5 through 2, were back in 2019. 2019 was a good year. My Louisiana trip, I was supposed to meet up with my buddy Tim Crawford. Somewhere in either Cincinnati, Indianapolis, or Louisville, because he was coming back from, I think, Buffalo, New York. I decided I was going to go into Louisiana. I'd never been into Louisiana except driving through back from Dauphin Island back in 2016 with my family. So I was like, I'm going to go through Louisiana, get it on video. I was like, that sounds more entertaining to me. So I routed out my travel plans and everything. Left out about 7 o'clock in the morning. Didn't get to Lafayette, Louisiana until about 5 o'clock that afternoon. Went past Van Buren, went through Van Buren and went past Fort Smith. And then Went through past Texarkana. Stopped in Shreveport. Tried to get the same footage that I got upside down on our Dallas trip that me and my co-host Tim Crawford took. But I had my GPS take me downtown. It took me into Bossier City, where all the casinos are. So that's what I got a video of, Bossier City. And then I got Shreveport on the interstate. I'm just looking at Shreveport. And then I got Alexandria. I stopped in at a McDonald's in Shreveport, ate lunch. I drove through Alexandria, a little town with a bunch of oil rigs. Got into Lafayette. Rode way in. As soon as I got there, this guy on the second floor asked me if I had a cigarette. I had a couple cigarettes in an open pack I had, so I threw them up to him. And then the next day I went and drove across the second longest bridge in the U.S., I believe. I think it's 12 miles. I think Pontchartrain is like 18 miles. This one was like 12. Or it might be 18. I think the Pontchartrain might be 32. I'm not for sure on that. But it's like the second longest bridge in the U.S. And then I stopped in at Baton Rouge. I turned around a few times trying to look for the old Capitol building. And I did get a good video of the new Capitol building. And I got videos of LSU Tiger campus and the stadium. So that was okay. But it just seemed kind of run down. So I drove through a couple of these small towns in Louisiana. I saw a cool town in Louisiana that had it seemed like they took out half of the downtown to make the highway. So you have just like one side of the downtown, and then you have a little road right next to the highway. It was decent. Stopped in at Monroe, Louisiana. Went to Duck Dynasty, which was a bucket list for me. Took a tour of Duck Dynasty. And then went past Pine Bluff, took the interstate through Little Rock and back up through central Arkansas, Fort Smith, got up into Fayetteville, and got the ending of Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue on video. I figured since I went and saw LSU, I needed to see the Arkansas Razorbacks, which are my team. It was only right. But that was pretty cool to get Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue on video, to get Razorback Stadium on video. But that's number 3. Number 2, Chicago. My favorite trip I've taken with my co-host Tim Crawford up to this point. Chicago, like I was saying earlier, I was rambling about going to Nashville. We started off in Knoll, getting Knoll on video, seeing all the bluffs. the river and everything. Noel's a very unique little town. I've been to Shadow Lake Surf Club numerous times, camping across the river at River Ranch Resort with my buddy Kenny. Haven't been there in a few years, but getting that on video was pretty cool. And then getting Kansas City from the south, that was pretty cool. Going through, trying to maneuver around the flooded areas in Missouri at the time. Staying in Chillicothe at the Starlight Inn, I believe. It was kind of a cheaper looking one bedroom suite. It had you had the living room, a little kitchenette, bedroom, but it was kind of a more cheaper, rundownish looking one bedroom suite in Chillicothe. My buddy Tim slept in the bedroom. They had a fold-out bed I slept on. Had a few beers. Stepped outside every once in a while. Smoked a few cigarettes. But it was for a cheaper room, more of a run-down looking place. It was a decent room. I liked it. And then we went to, before that we went to St. Joe's, which was home of the Pony Express Museum. Jesse James Boyd at home. And after, we stopped in Hannibal, Mark Twain's hometown. We went through the downtown, very historic. We had to navigate around the flooded areas because the whole central Missouri area was flooded. We got to go see Lover's Leap, which was where apparently 2 Indian tribes, a man and a woman from 2 Indian tribes that didn't like each other, fell in love with each other. The tribal chiefs, who were their fathers, didn't approve of it, so they took a leap to their death. That's why they call it Lover's Leap. It was a neat historic town. I would love to go to and see, since it's not flooded anymore. I would love to go see that and dive deeper into the town. And then we went to, Springfield, Missouri, which we saw the Capitol. I do believe I got that on video. Abe Lincoln sitting on the little seat in front of the Capitol. Went to Decatur, ate at a Burger King. This couple stormed out fighting out of this Burger King. We wanted to go see the Chevrolet Museum that's there in Decatur, but didn't have enough time because it was on the other side of town. Saw the refineries. And then we finally got into Chicago. Chicago was freaking awesome. I love Chicago. It's just building after building after building after building after building. It's like, holy crap. We drove through, what is the Miracle Mile? Don't know but that was pretty cool. Alongside Lake Michigan, I believe it was. And then we stayed at the Motel 6, right there, next to O'Hare. And like every 30 seconds there was a plane touching down, going overhead. So we're stepping out for a couple of times. There's shorts on my channel that show us watching the planes go. This one guy steps out and he's like, "What are y'all doing?" My buddy Tim's like, "We're watching the planes. We ain't never seen nothing like this." And he's like, oh yeah, y'all, about a block or two down, y'all can go to this field and get a better view. And my buddy Tim's like, thinking, he was telling me, yeah, so your buddies can rob us? Yeah, and then about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, this lady that's drunk and disorderly, she's getting arrested by the police across the hall from us. The next morning, I get one more little short video of the planes touching down. It was pretty cool. That night I was watching CM Punk's promos or wrestling matches because we're in Chicago. CM Punk's from Chicago, and I like wrestling. On the way back, we went a little through downtown, got the Route 66 start sign, stopped at a McDonald's, got some breakfast and a coffee. Saw this lady walking between cars and she's looking like a zombie. It's like, holy crap, we're really seeing The Walking Dead. But it's like, it's what drugs will do to you. But then we stopped just a little bit out of Chicago. We stopped in Wilmington. Tried staying on Route 66 for a little bit. Stopped in Wilmington at the launching pad, which over the last few years, my buddy Tim he's got a few things that he was willing to donate to the launching pad because they like taking donations for Americana stuff. But we stopped in there. I have my little short video looking underneath the Gemini Giant. Y'all should go check that out one of these days. But we stopped in and ate there. I had a Chicago dog. Only time I've ever had a Chicago dog. Bag of potato chips and a strawberry shake. Oh my god. I would stop in there again and have that again. We continued to try to stay on Route 66. We ended up getting lost off of Route 66. So we're like, okay, screw it. So we ended up heading back, going through St. Louis. And I got the St. Louis Arch on video and everything. Driving past St. Louis. That was pretty much all the videos I did on that trip. Number one, the current trip I'm rewatching, my Colorado trip. The Colorado trip was great. I'll be back. But anyway, my Colorado trip was great. This channel is live and unedited. That's how I've always done this channel. Live and unedited. So, things happen. But I started off going to, first night I went to Independence. I started going to Independence I was trying to get trying to get out of Dodge as fast as I could before there was some tornadic storms that were blowing through it. If I made it to Independence in time, I would get past. I would beat the storms, and Independence wasn't supposed to get nearly as bad as it was supposed to get here in Gentry, Arkansas. I got Miami, Oklahoma on video. I was gonna stop at the Cuckoo Bird and get, I think, a cheeseburger, small fry, and a strawberry shake. I had seen the Cuckoo Bird on Adam the Woo's Route 66 video. So I was like, I'm gonna stop in there, drive through it only because of COVID-19. And it's like an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half away from home. I'm in the drive-thru, and I'm like, I left my wallet at home. So yeah, that's another hour and 15 minutes I have to drive back home. An hour and 15 minutes to drive back. I'm like, by the time I got back into Miami, it was already starting to storm. I'm like, I'm not stopping at the Cuckoo Bird. I'm just gonna keep on going. Go into Independence, Kansas. Which had a decent downtown the first time I'd ever been there. But I stopped at the King's Inn, I think is what it was. And hunkered down for the night. It was only supposed to be, I think they said, heavy rain whenever I stayed there. But the next day, I got up and went to Dodge City. Dodge City was a decent town. I liked Dodge City. It was an old brick town with brick cobblestone roads in the downtown area. I liked it. I stopped at the wrong Motel 6. Well, the OYO. They have two OYOs. I stopped at the wrong OYO. So I had to go to the other one, which I had stayed at years before when I was working with WIS International, an inventory company. I stayed there for a night. I don't remember if I did a live stream or not at that hotel. But I remember waking up, I had all these bites on me the next day from bed bugs. At the OYO, one of them has bed bugs. Then I looked at Dodge City, drove past Garden City, and got into Colorado. I took a video getting the Colorado sign. Welcome to colorful Colorado. That was pretty cool. And then, let's see. I think I turned off on a dirt road because I was like trying to stay off the main highways, so it had me go on a dirt road for like a couple miles. I took this dirt road, and it was a very thin dirt road. I was like, hopefully nobody comes in these next couple miles. Ended up going through, I don't know what that town's called. Getting into Colorado Springs. Checking into the wrong Motel 6. Or picking the wrong Motel 6. Because my buddy Tim Crawford had always told me that he gets a good view. It's an older Motel 6. He gets a good view of Garden of the Gods. Well, my Motel 6 I decided to check into was a newer Motel 6 with a great view from my balcony of Pikes Peak. Little beknownst to me, it was right across the street from where my buddy Tim Crawford used to work at the Walmart. So that was pretty cool. Went to Garden of the Gods, which everybody should check that out. Got a few souvenirs from the Walmart there. Ate at the Schlotsky's Austin Eatery next door, which that was good. Ate at, I remember, there was a barbecue place. Right next door that I went and ate lunch at, had a beer at. But my time in Colorado Springs was pretty cool. Went and stopped at a marijuana dispensary. Because I was like, when in Colorado, might as well. I got 8 joints for $100. Colorado marijuana, if you're not careful, it kicks your ass. But after 2 nights of spending in Colorado Springs, I went to Denver, spent 2 nights there, got downtown on video, got plenty of Denver, got Golden, Colorado on video. I was wanting to go do the tour of Coors. It was closed because of COVID. I was wanting to go to the tour of the Denver Broncos. Closed. COVID. So pretty much, I didn't really do much in my 2 days of spending in Denver. I got driving around. I got videos of driving around. But I did get a driving around video of Golden and driving around video of the Denver Broncos. Went to like 2 or 3 different Walmarts to get a Colorado Rockies hat because I collect ever since my Chicago trip with my buddy Tim Crawford. Anytime I go to a town with a team, I'll get a baseball hat and a football koozie. That's the souvenirs I get. So I got a Broncos koozie and a Colorado Rockies hat. But, and then there was this Mexican restaurant that was open. So, both days that I was in Denver, the first day I was there and the second day I was there, about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd go down there and just, play on my phone, have 2 beers, spend 45 minutes there, probably maybe 30-45 minutes there each day. And that was just my bar stop for the night, and then go back up to the hotel and do a live stream, upload the videos that I had, and just enjoy, relax. I left Denver, drove past the Denver airport, and went through St. Francis, Kansas, where an ex-girlfriend of mine and me used to live with her family for a few months in St. Francis, Kansas. St. Francis is a small town, but I thought I would get on video because it was the first time I'd been back there since me and her ended our relationship, since I lived up there. And it was cool to see. I got Goodland, Kansas, which right before I moved back here from up there, I was supposed to start at the Walmart there, which I never did. But I got Goodland, Kansas on video. And I guess the J.C. Penney that was there, a super small J.C. Penney that was in downtown Goodland, Kansas. I guess it had closed down. I was hoping to get it on video, but I just thought it was unique whenever I lived up there. But it, I guess, closed down already. I went through, stayed at the Super 8 in Colby, Kansas. I don't remember, Beloit, however you say that. Went through there. I don't remember if that was before or after Colby. But stayed in Colby, ate at the Village Inn, had breakfast for lunch. That was pretty cool. Village Inns are pretty cool. And then, let's see, went through, stayed in Manhattan, Kansas, which I want to bar hop one of these days. It's a little, looks like a little college sports bar kind of place that you can bar hop. And I think they put me in a room right next door to a bunch of construction workers, because about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, you just hear slamming doors. And there was a bunch of construction trucks outside, and they were all gone by the time I got up in the morning. So I'm like, but Kansas State University, the stadium, and Kansas University's basketball stadium and stadium, I got to see both of those. Got into Topeka twice. Have I not gotten the Capitol right in Topeka, Kansas? The first time I went with my buddy Tim Crawford, I got it in the rain. Second time, I got the Kansas State Capitol. I'm like doing this towards the back of my car because I did not park right to try to get the Capitol on video. And then I got into Kansas City, stopped in at the hotel I stayed at, which was a hotel me and my buddy Kenny had stayed at before. So I decided to stay there again, which was like a block away from the Power and Light District. I went and ate at the Ice House, Icebox, Brew House, Ice House. It was a little steakhouse. It's about the only thing that was open during that time. That was good. I had the loaded nachos and a beer for lunch. And I went back to the hotel, uploaded my videos. I only spent one night in Kansas City, and then I made the couple-hour trek back home. But my Colorado trip was definitely the best trip so far that I've taken. That is my top 5. And that's going to do it for today. If you're new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button after the video to stay notified on all my current and future whereabouts. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know you care, and it helps support this channel. This is Road Trip Nate saying, I'm hoping this is the start of a new series. My top trips, rankings of my trips I've taken that I've done on video. I'm trying to get my buddy Tim Crawford, like I said, over here to do our 11 trips we've done together, plus an honorable mention. And I'm gonna rank all my trips I've taken, which might be a little hard to do, but I'm And the top 5 that I just talked about, they'll be the top 5 of all my trips I've taken. I just wanted to. This is the start of a new series. Until next time, road trippers. This is Road Trip Nate saying bye from La Casa.